Comrades, my stance within this association has always been to protect and defend the independence of the PSA and to remain committed to the ideals which had brought me here this evening also. Throughout the turmoil, I continue to do what I was elected to do as a trade unionist. That is, to represent the membership passionately in all matters that came before me. Comrades, Nixon Callender did not run from any challenge. Instead, I stood my ground. I held the fort so that I can fight for you from within.
Make way. I got work to do. Plenty work to do. Make way. I got work to do. Plenty work to do.
Ah, yes, plenty work to do, plenty work to do. Let me just fix this thing here. Ah, yes, plenty work to do. Yes, so good evening, Mr. Nixon Callender.
Good evening, the mighty, fearless warrior. Good evening to the viewership. Good evening to all our public officers and our other bargaining units where the PSA represents. Good night. Well, actually, it's good night. Good night, all.
Well, it's plenty things that are happening, and you see what I tell you. Felicia and them try a stunt in this election because they know this whole week here is bacchanal in the cities, once the things happening all over the country, the carnival in full high gear. So they know they were playing a kind of dangerous grounds when they say the tent, and something really wrong with the executive that is currently saying down there, who believes that putting the date on the 10th of March would have been the best day. But I think it's the best day that they put it on because they didn't realize that it would be the day that they would be leaving office also on that same particular day. Now, I just hope that they don't have the election holding back 5 days to get no results. Anytime I holding that election for 5 days and we can't get the results in 5 days, Nixon, I am telling you, go to the courthouse. Because they were clearly seen again. Yeah, voter, but I didn't voter tampering. And I call it as it is. Because nobody can tell me you're taking 5 days to come to 1,700 votes. To come 1,700. Nobody can tell me that. In IHM, you can get them votes counted like it's nothing. In the same day, same evening. General election, there's going to be night time. But with PSA, with men who were like Duke, now he playing the consultant with Leroy. Well, Leroy going now and he want to go for election. I don't know what seat he want to win. Because you see who they elect now as 2 candidates under the trade union. But let me just play a little bit of this clip here for you. So to just let the people be aware of what has been happening in General Council. Just to let them be aware of what has been happening in General Council. All right, like it come out there. Yes, look at here. No, I'm not going to play the entire thing because we have to go into the strategic plan. But I just want you to hear a part of this particular foolishness that is going on in the let me leave that for another. Let me leave that for another. Because there will have been a recording that is now in the public domain whereby they keep locking off people mics when they come in General Council meeting. So every time they come General Council meeting, I don't like Nixon. Take off Nixon mic. I don't like Jennifer. take off Jennifer mic. I don't like this one. Take off the mic and just put it with whole time in our council. So I want to see now if it is that will be taking off any mic from after the 10th of March, when they'll be saying, you know, it was good saying down inside here, you know, but I have to leave. But before I hand over the banter to you, Mr. Nixon, I saw your comrade. Your comrade is claiming that he's not going to be affiliated to any political party, but yet still we are seeing him with a no affiliated himself with a known UNC activist on their on his platform. Isn't that we are now seeing where people are starting to play games with the membership, that they are going and affiliating themselves with UNC affiliates and then saying, no, 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 we negotiating. We're not going to join no political party, but they are affiliating themselves in a technical way with the UNC. Are we seeing that, Mr. Nixon?
Well, now to be very very frank, throughout my campaign, I've been explaining to members throughout Trinidad, and let me make something clear. Our members come from different diverse backgrounds. They have their religious persuasion, they have their own political persuasion.
Right.
But one of the things that has been a sore point with me since, and I will tell you that since in 2013, because I sounded the alarm to PSA members. Is either you is fish or you is foul. You really cannot be both. Is either you is a trade unionist or you are a mainstream politician. Is either you are a worker representative or you is a wannabe parliamentarian. There is a lot of skewed mirrors right now. The mirrors in this thing is very, very skewed, in that workers cannot differentiate now if their trade union leaders are their representative or their political foe. So what you have going on is the membership of these unions, and including the PSA, they are not sending a message to their trade union leaders. They are not sending that message, because I am seeing trade union leaders being paid by their membership who comes from different political persuasion. And they are being paid by their membership and they are taking a partisan position. It is something that has been a serious sore point, because fearless is one thing. Nobody must question whether Nixon Callender or a Nixon Callender executive in the PSA is either the union rep or the political foe or the political friend. There must be no question about that. Because when a member comes to the union with an issue, they must be clear in their mind that I am coming with something, not a complaint, a grievance for my union to treat with. Even if my union head or representative see me in a political party, is waving a flag and going on, I mustn't be afraid, or that member mustn't be afraid, because his union leader or his representative has taken another position as to whether or not his grievances are going to be attended to. It is a grotesque, it is a gross dishonesty. Conflict of interest is a real minor language to use for that. Who engage in these things, and mind you, the Leroy Baptistes, the Ansel Rogers, and the contractors and general workers union, all these fellas and girls and guys who are carrying their union members down that rabbit hole, trust me, the trade union right now, the trade union movement right now is at risk of running down to the ground because their members are going to start dropping out. Their members are going to start to take flight. Right now, fearless trade union leaders cannot even call out a proper protest because you know why? They have separated their union. And the politicians love that, eh? The politicians love that. Because because of these greedy, hungry, eater food fellas and girls want to dabble up in politics and the members dropping out and the members are afraid now to come out and give support, guess what? It makes mainstream politics and politicians grow bigger and stronger. And it is sad. I will keep saying it again. I will keep saying it again. The PSA under my watch, not one single executive officer, including myself, will get tied up in any other foolishness. When we go and sit down at a table with the employer, the members must be clear that this executive is not bought or is not not friends and lovey-dovey with these mainstream politics. It's bad mind focus and bad mind representation.
Well, I felt let me highlight that because when I saw a particular talk show host advertising a candidate a presidential candidate on their program, and then at the last minute they jump out and allow another host who's a well-known UNC activist to interview them, I was like, something is wrong here. I didn't expect this particular presidential candidate to be going in that direction. So I said, well, I have to bring it up and ask you whether or not if people are playing games with the people at this point in time. Because if it is that they are going in that direction, then they are signaling to those persons who may be aligning politically within the PSA, within the PSA membership, then they need to be, who is PNM, go PNM. Who is UNC, go UNC. Because, and we know all who go in UNC have already taken the position that they will not negotiate until the UNC comes back into office. So when I saw that presidential candidate on that particular program, I was like, are they sending a message that they need to go and negotiate with the UNC if they should get in office, or may take the people and them ability to vote for them? Let's say, God forbid that they win. They take the vote, they go over and they say, well, look, I win the presidency, you know. So you know what? I need to get a senatorship in the parliament. And this is the kind of thing that people have to be very careful about, especially with unions especially with people who offering themselves up for presidency of unions. Because if you compromise that presidential office by going political, then if the government decides in the morning, we get 0%, then what would you want to be able to do now? You can't negotiate because you're already going to get by. And who is to say that somebody on that particular side is not funding that particular presidential candidate campaign? Because to be on that particular platform, now I'm not saying that they can't go on any platform, but to see that one person advertising him, and then you see a known UNC activist who is battering the government left, right, and center, interviewing and hosting the show, I said, what? Never. They can't be so deadly. But nevertheless, let me get back to issue because I really was trying to pray for them, you know. I was trying to pray for them, but desperation, like, is a hell of a thing.
Yeah, serious.
Desperation can be a hell of a thing when it comes down to this election. So let me take it. So let me hand it over to you because I know that you want to deal with your strategic plan. I hope that they are not log on because you know that people will come and log on, Marco, and then you hear them going with your strategic plan. So
Well, if it's one thing, eh? Yeah, let's see, like thing, it's let me tell you all that I am always happy to be campaigning. Let me tell you, campaigning is a nice thing, eh? It's a nice thing. You get your exercise, you lose a lot of weight, right? And you go out there and you meet the members. Now, this is nothing unusual to me because in 2013, I was the only candidate who had my phone number on every piece of flyer. We probably printed over 10,000 flyers. And even after the elections, you had members would have still be calling me to treat with matters, showing them how to do this. Because even after they realize that, oh shucks, they make a boo-boo. I mean, at the end of the day, when a member come to you, I will ask a member who you vote for. A member come and they say, well, hey, Mr. Callender, I need some advice on this. It's off the cuff. It's almost automatic, right? Because in doing this so long, now it's a very burdensome thing because it leaves, when you hear of the problems workers going through, sometimes you just have to give yourself a mental cleanse. So
yeah,
this is why I engage myself in a lot of activities, especially with my children, right? Because that gives me that kind of mental cleanse, and it also makes me appreciate certain things in life in a different level because people going through real problems out there,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So for me, it has never been a case where it is I turn off and switch off from people who genuinely come and ask for assistance. And comrades, in 2013, this journey started. I could remember when we were doing a change management. We had 3 consultants in the 2013 elections in our camp. Because after in June or July of 2013, when I told Watson that I would not be supporting him for our next term, I started now to work on how to make the PSA much more attractive for its members because we had gone through a real nasty, it had real fight. And I can remember sitting down with these people and that is the team because slowly I would have been vetting persons and they would be coming on board and they would actually be coming in to the development of our first strategic plan or statement of strategic intent. And one of the things I could remember, one of the consultants and he is a businessman. Well, he was a businessman. He died during COVID. He used to say, you know, calendar, I'll tell you, he say, this is how we look at the trade union movement or the trade union leaders. Everything for themselves. They don't want to do nothing for their members. The members can't say, well, what fringe benefits they're getting. So he would have worked with us in developing a whole new way in how we would be negotiating. So he said, well, look, you have the skill in negotiating terms and conditions, how to go up, how to go down, how to cut here, how to increase here. He said, Callender, use them same skills to negotiate pricing. Well, here it is now. Just back. Because this is a businessman who doing a change management session with a team of people who going to run a union. And he's saying, start to negotiate pricing with the retailers. I said, okay, well, one time, I said, well, talk to me. He said, Callender is no different. He said, you all have an economic community. Your membership is an economic community, which you could make a business turn into a multi-millionaire, or you could crash a business if you pull support. He said, it is not about crashing the business so much. It is about negotiating goods and services at preferential discounted rates. So during the course of the campaign, we dealt with that. We dealt with how to deal with an insolvent institution, how you deal with how your income coming in. So we would have put together a statement of strategic intent as to how to build back the PSA. That was since in 2013. And every 4 years, I mean, the membership low voter turnout, they leave Watson inside here. And then the membership going down, the union going down, and every election is lower and lower voter turnout. Comrades and to the listenership out there, in 2017, when the election went into the courts, you know what happened? We continued negotiating with those same businesses, and we utilized one of our cards on them, our Team Sentinel membership cards. And I could tell everybody here, I could tap myself and the rest of the team, that we outside of the PSA was able to negotiate a 2% discount on groceries in super quality supermarket for any member of the PSA holding a PSA, a Team Sentinel card. Fellas, we were not in the executive. Nixon Callender, Team Sentinel at that time was not in the executive. We then moved on. We then push on. Term Finance, a finance company that actually bought, came onto the scene with online loan applications. Immediately, myself and former executive officer, well, former executive candidate, one of my executive candidates, we went and hold a meeting because you know why we saying, well, hear this now. We members, no salary increases, nothing at all. We went and negotiated for that institution to approach the members at the Agriculture Development Bank and MIC. And we entered into a special arrangement with them that directed them to our members there, that from their desktop, from on their computer, they could apply for a loan, and within 24 hours, they get the loan.
Hold up. We said we're going to get into the strategic plan. Let's get into it. Let me come off the screen and allow you to go into the strategic plan, because I know you have a lot to show them and a lot to say tonight on the strategic plan. And we do have the strategic plan that we can show to the public, and you can go through it page by page with them.
Yes. So this was...
I'm handing it over to you now.
Okay, thank you. So this was way back in 2017. And this was part of our strategic plan. In other ways, it is that we could negotiate. Many a times, persons way back then, the members of the PSA was like, nothing is happening. We seeing the leadership of the PSA getting involved in politics. No wage negotiations, and even that is going on even presently, because there is no wage negotiations going on. Excuse me. And we are seeing that the membership are getting more frustrated. So, comrades, we would have launched today our strategic plan, our E strategic plan. And when I mean E, it's in the form of a PDF, and we have shared it. Let me just deal with it here. Right. We have shared it in the chat group here. I will just highlight it again and share it. Yes. 2025 to 2029 Statement of Strategic Intent. We would have shared this. We have developed an app. Well, when we developed the app, we wanted to go the way of having our own app developed, but we had to go the way of through one of those online apps where we would be carrying our plan. It's Meet the President, the team. There is all the insights into the executive. It is on our Facebook page. Yes, it's Meet the Executive. All our executives, an in-depth look at our executive. So when you visit the app, you are going to see everything that you need to know. Even the voters list is there for you to see, and also the list of polling stations. So you'll be going there, and it starts, and you see the table of content. It's rolling. So go to the app, go to our Facebook page, go to our TikTok page. It is there. It is the scan the QR code. We have been posting our flyers with the QR code all over Trinidad. It is also on our Facebook page. It is also on our TikTok page. So go to PSA United Sentinels TikTok or Facebook page and get to it. There are many things there. It speaks about PSA United Sentinels, what we bring to the table, our logo. It describes our logo, and for those persons out there who don't understand what this logo means, go to it there. You will understand what it means. Our colors, our focus, vision, our mission, our strategic touchstones, our promise, our critical success factors. And you can see there our strategic direction, the 21-point strategic objectives. Competent leadership, representation, our position on competent leadership, representation, membership benefits, gender-based violence, artificial intelligence, that is a very, very serious thing. Artificial intelligence, AI technology, and the workplace. Occupational safety and health, zero compromise. Let me repeat, comrades. Under PSA United Sentinels, we would have a zero compromise where health and safety issues are concerned. You see rats, you see mess, you see pigeons, spiders in the workplace. We will institute what needs to be done in accordance with the law and let the employer fix it. Under PSA United Sentinels, there will be none of our bargaining units will be working in any unhealthy or dangerous environments. We are serious with that. It's zero compromise persons, and we will be taking, whether it's CEOs, whether it's executive directors, permanent secretaries, you name it, we would be approaching the courts and getting orders against them. We zero compromise. Youth, comrades, youth, our youth people, this is the future. Comrades, what we are seeing going all over the PSA bargaining units is sometimes whole departments with one set of young people. None of them are members of the PSA. None of them, they're asking what is the meaning of PSA. And these are not just the OJTs I'm talking about. That's a different thing. I'm talking about young workers in the system within our bargaining units working 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And they are not members of the PSA. Youth, we have our position there on youth. Social committees, which is maintaining our bonds. And the social committees, comrades, are necessary in any union. And if you understand this, we would have done a survey that ended in December of 2024, and 72.7. Now, you would see the figures, and this is from a basket of persons, of individuals, of 5,000 workers. And this is members and non-members that was surveyed. Okay? 72.78% saw social committees as being important. The results indicate that an overall importance in social committees in the PSA is integral to the development of the union. What are some of the social committees there? You would see from there. Membership housing. Membership housing. That is our position on membership housing. Now, I will give you all some time to read what is our position there on membership housing. I am seeing the incumbent, Felicia, and them still mentioning to the PSA that they want to beg, they want to enter into deals with the government, that they are insisting that workers get HDC houses. People, I said it already, we are not living in a nice place. Members of the PSA, keep all your executive, keep all your union pure now. You see that HDC housing thing? As long as you are a member of the PSA under PSA United Sentinel, the watch of Nixon Callender, we would be entering into private arrangement with private entities. And I will tell you this. There are many landowners throughout Trinidad and Tobago who are going to be paying property tax out of their eyes because they have so many land available to them and so many lands that they would have inherited. And this is throughout Trinidad and Tobago. There are endless private landowners, freehold lands. And where it is that where the freehold lands may not be accessible to our members because of the demographics, we will be treating with going after lease lands under the Commission of State Lands. But where this HDC housing is concerned, comrades, you all have seen what happened under the Watson Duke regime. Same Leroy Baptiste who was right there with him. That became a whole mess. As another government changes, guess what? The whole relationship changed. We would not be having our members on that seesaw. We are an independent trade union, independent organization, and we are going to chart our way with our general council, our membership input, our young members input. We are going to chart our way. We are going to set up that membership housing committee with highly skilled and competent members who are involved in project management, who are involved in accounting and all these things. And we are going to develop our housing policy for the PSA. Wage negotiations. We shall do what needs to be done. I need for you all to soak in that and internalize that statement. We shall do what needs to be done. And comrades, that statement is very broad-based. It is very broad-based. And therefore, as you all go through the plan, as you all go through, comrades, and keep it up there, comrade. Keep up that document there. I want, because people are accustomed seeing my face, I want you all to understand something. If you all vote for people who does only talk, You're going to get talk for the next 4 years and you can't hold them to nothing. Comrades, yet again, PSA United Sentinel, formerly Team Sentinel, has brought a plan again to the members. And this is not just our plan. You all will see certain data there. This plan is data-driven. And that data was obtained by surveying the members, surveying public officers, surveying members, workers in our bargaining unit. So while if you check our plans from 2013, 2017, well, that election was injuncted, 2020, and now, you would see a very clear consistency with what we have to offer the PSA members. It has always been this way. Comrades, if we had only implemented all these things, if the membership had only voted for us back in 2013, the PSA would have been a mighty, strong, our membership would have been well educated, our reps would have been well groomed, we would have had our PSA training academy churning out our representatives, and we could have seen a clear pathway to our future leaders in the PSA. Comrades, the legacy of PSA United Sentinels as the executive of the PSA is that within this 4 years, at least we would have accomplished 50% of our strategic plan. And that is a Herculean task. But we have intelligent members on the executive, and therefore we will be imparting that intelligence to our membership, right? So as you can see there, wage negotiations, and one of the things that you must look at in our approach to wage negotiations, there must be a plan B and a plan C. Our negotiations must be well thought out. Well thought out. It must be data driven. And therefore, we must, every step of the way, every step we take during every negotiation, and this is not negotiations, people only in the civil service. Remember, we have over 20 bargaining units. This is how we treat with negotiations across the board. It must be strategic. And comrades, if you all have executives and people who want to stay in the union and dabble in mainstream politics while you pay them with dues, you're going to get people who really and truly everything that they do is for a political objective. We have to stay away from that. Public sector reform, job security, the true meaning. Public sector reform, comrades, has been taunted around in the public service for several years. The architect of the first public sector reform program, deceased Gordon Draper, under the then PNM government, they would have created a pathway to reforming the public service based on a model that involves special purpose companies and a private sector type public service. Now, people, just the mere fact that are trying to say that word, it will make anybody confused, because the public service, and when I mean public service, it's not just the civil service, it's the water and sewage authority, all the public utilities, right? So their objective was to slowly chip away the authority granted to the service commissions, and the way in which they would have attempted to do that or presented it in that white paper or that green paper was the establishment of statutory authorities, which gives the politician the authority to hire the board, fire the board, And it was a way in which that you take a regulatory system, which under the Constitution have some grave charges for any politician who choose to engage with a public office or a civil servant, and put these employees under the management of a political board. Comrades, as long as I live, as long as the trade union movement is alive in this country, that remains the most clear and present danger to democracy in Trinidad and Tobago. When you lick up the civil service, when you lick up legal regulatory bodies, and you place them in the hands of political appointed boards. But comrades, while we are well aware that you cannot stop an employer from restructuring, that restructuring must always be under consultation with the recognized majority union. In this case is the PSA. And where there are restructuring exercises going on, the recognized majority union must be meaningfully, the consultation must be, meaningful. And most of the collective agreements have ways in which you deal with restructuring and the relationship between the employer and the union when restructuring is going on. But comrades, as you see there in number 22, public sector reform, job security, you would see what is the basic role and function in the union, of the union, when it comes to that. So I won't go into it all. Comrades, download our plan. Read. Members, read. Are they allowing laws and regulations to be passing and people not reading? Everything is shorts. YouTube shorts, Facebook shorts, TikTok shorts. Persons now are living their life in a 30-second bubble. They're trying to get information and knowledge in a 30 seconds. Comrade, our message is in our plan. We are not like the other teams and them, the Felicia Thomas and the Oral Saunders and them, who set at this with a 3-page document and what we promise and this. No. If people, that is what are they vote on and are they voting for? When they go in office, don't expect nothing else but a 3-page document or a 3-page rule, which very vague. It has no clear direction. There is no plan behind it. If all they vote for that, and which is so persons have been voting over the years, this is how the PSA has been operating. Yeah. Regional health authorities. I need for you all to read that there, because regional health authorities, and I want to say again, congratulations to the Trinidad and Tobago National Nursing Association on obtaining the RMU status for the nursing fraternity under the Eastern Regional Health Authority. And comrades, it took almost 30 years after nursing and other arms of nursing was taken out of the civil service, when they would have transferred these workers who would have taken VSEP, literally decertifying the union. A very minute amount of them would have gone over under no lesser terms. They would have gone over with the PSA. I can tell you all now that none of the RHAs have anyone from the Ministry of Health who would have taken that option of no lesser terms and conditions and transferred over to the RHAs. There are no one else. So, comrades, the RHAs are under no obligation to sign any memorandum of agreement with the PSA when the PSA engaged in wage negotiations and sign off, because those memorandum of agreements for all the RHAs, the THA, Southwest, Eastern, North Central, Northwest, we sign a memorandum of agreement taking into consideration that there are workers under no lesser terms and conditions. And when we sign that, the RHAs simply pay because they have to maintain parity. But comrades, I have been reliably informed that I believe the last worker that would have retired, and that was down in the Southwest Regional Health Authority, who was a Ministry of Health worker who would have transferred under no lesser terms and conditions. That worker has retired. So even though we are elected into office, when we wrap up these negotiations for our bargaining bodies under the civil service and other bargaining bodies, we may have some friction from the RHAs. Comrades, what I have been proposing since 2013 is to have recognized majority union status for our different categories of workers in the RHA. Those who fall under non-essential workers, that is the workers in the clerical department, the administrative departments, the attendants, the wardsmaids, the cooks, the emergency medical technicians. The PSA would have obtained the RMU status for the EMTs and them in Tobago. They would have mind their business and they would have seen the vision and the plan when I first wrote up that application for recognition for the EMTs and them in Tobago back in 2011. Comrades, again, to all our comrades and members in the RHAs, the way to go is to obtain RMU, recognize majority union status, and every 3 years the PSA will drop a collective agreement after consultation with you all, and we start bargaining for them. So if no other team people is talking about this, people, you have to reject them. Felicia and them can't talk about that. They can't even spell RMU. Oral Saunders and them, their mind is not on that. It has never been. And he come from healthcare right now in St. Anne's Hospital. They have a whole HR department there. Nobody is a PSA member in the HR department in St. Anne's Hospital. But a man who come from up there, all over the place with a green tie, he still believe in the 2013 executive that he resigned from with a green tie. Oral and his team and them ain't talking nothing about that because they're not strategic. They don't know how to be strategic because, comrade, the years that it takes people to build the capacity for this, they just don't have it. Comrades, go to PSA United Sentinels app. The link is there, and you all will see all on what we as a team, what we bring to the table. Go on the app, download it for yourself. Let me get back to it. So regional health authorities, our non-essential workers in the regional health authority, it is Mission RMU. Yeah. Information technology, powering innovation. Comrades, in 2011, and I have the email messages there between I and that gentleman. It is, let me tell you, in 2011, the PSA was about 25 years behind in information technology, we were 25 years behind in information technology. We literally did not have any information technology. There was nothing that you could have said that the PSA was linked to and would have made the life easier or the membership lives easier. So in 2011, against all the bacchanal that was going on in the PSA, I was still able to bring a proposal to the executive, and then it went to the general council, and that is about the tracker member system, grievance and case management. And at that time, we were supposed to go, myself and the former second vice president, Christopher Jofield, was to go to Michigan to meet with the developers, see, because our membership information would have been off-site. This whole information technology trust that I was pushing, and it was myself, another executive officer, Lydia Watts-Sozano, Lydia, I had to tell you, thank you, girl. Because apart from all the bacchanal that was going on, you know, I could have called up on you all hours of the night, because it's different times we would have to log on with the developer and back and forth until I brought the proposal to the executive and then the general council. And that would have given us the ability to track our membership in real time. What that meant was, you may not know if someone is a PSA member probably 6 or 7 months down the road, because they would have dropped out. You would have never known when they drop out. It's until after they detect it, then you know. You don't know if it is they move from Ministry of Finance, Treasury, and they get transferred to let me say in Grandy, because based on that individual, based on that movement, it would have affected which polling station or which section or which region they would have belonged to. And that tracker member system would have tracked our membership in real time. Also, grievance and case management, it would have allowed for you all to lodge grievances, track it on your phone, on your desktop. From the time that you lodge the grievance, you know whether it is a grievance or a complaint, because there might be missing certain elements in it. And you would have not been able to go further, and they would tell you to contact XYZ. Guess what? I and Jofield couldn't go again, because a dissident group of executive officers went and froze the accounts of the PSA by just sending a letter to a bank, and that had we had to withdraw the monies from that bank. We had us to engage the trustees, the general council. They tell us withdraw, put it over in the next bank. It is a whole mess that was created, and that didn't come to fruition. Comrades, again, we aim to bring back this to the table. Education, training, and development. Comrades, you know my stance on that for years. I believe in training an army of representatives. I'll tell you something, My alma mater union, that was when I was in the private sector. When it is that when they pick you up, as you would say, from your factory or from your area, and they sort of mold you into a rep, a shop steward. In Canada, they call them a TER. trade union rep. But in Trinidad, most of the time you'll hear the term shop steward. You start to undergo training that will allow you as shop steward to represent that worker straight up to the court, industrial court. Comrades, and this is why over the years I had articulated for the development of the Public Services Association Training Academy. Education here is the key. It's not always about big mouth and screw up face, or as they would say, screw up pan. It's about what upstairs here. And comrades, I am longing for members to give us that opportunity for us to get into the PSA, manage this thing so that we can restart our education and development trust in the PSA, because we have over 300 sections to get elected and train these representatives, because representation does not start from the executive committee first. Representation starts from your rep, your staff side, your section rep. But guess what? The executive, and that is all about someone presenting themselves. They want to represent people. They want to represent their members. And then we mold that person. We mold that member. We fine tune them, because once you have the drive, once you have that bad mind focus, once you have that true sense of caring and empathy for members, your road to a representative has begun. And it's now for your union, for your executive to have the policies in place, the opportunities in place to guess what? Churn out an army of educated, skilled, and strategic representatives. Comrades, feel free at any time, all you on the live, to ask any question. Feel free to ask any question while we go on. So education is the key, and we would have addressed that in our document. Organization restructuring. Transforming to meet the present and future demands. People, we are seeing with our own eyes when you have trade union leaders that does not change with the times. It is like a tree planted on the side of a train track, and that twig continues to grow towards the direction of where the train track is. Guess what? That tree, that branch will never be allowed to grow to its full potential, because anything pass, clip, 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 it will never grow. Because they are not changing direction, they are not altering strategies. But one thing for sure they are doing, they are reaping the benefits of getting involved in mainstream politics. We are not feeling it. The wealth and the prosperity. You have a man who used to say, eating high from the tide. They used to fool all of that. Eating high from the tide. And look where it is, the PSA is right now. The next partner. So we will be moving into the area of regional offices in all our regions, and people. Someone in Rio Claro not supposed to be coming quite in Arima or San Fernando to go and visit our PSA office people. Comrades, I'm saying this, I'm a pausing reason, no. I get needles going in me. Because years ago, if members had seen it, if they had understood, if they had taken heed Comrades, every single region, east, west, north, south, would have had an online, fully functional offices with executives, with representatives, with industrial relations officers, with support staff, because our union would have been a mighty organization. Comrades, we aim to go back to that, to the point of where we would want to set up our regional offices to make it better for you all. It will entail getting the PSA onto a financial track again, and therefore these offices would be opened up in order for you to serve you better. And where you can go to your union office, you could go to your PSA office, meet someone there, competent representative, competent staff members who will assist and deal with your matter. Oh yes, do retired workers with financial interests allowed to vote? Unfortunately, comrade, no. If a member of the PSA upon retirement, if you are still a member, you become an honorary member, you're supposed to get all the benefits, but you will not be allowed to vote in any meeting. You'll be able to serve on committees, but you'll not be able to vote on anything in those committees. But once you have retired from your bargaining unit, still being a PSA member, you are honorary member and you would be entitled to the benefits that the PSA would have. The PSA benefits, no longer the benefits of the job. Tobago, our jewel. Tobago, in 2013, we would have indicated to you all that now I'm gonna say something here. I want to tell that team in orange, find out your own plan. Find out your own plan. I hear the team in orange now talking about decentralizing the PSA to have Tobago being an autonomous part of the PSA. People, a union is a union. Eh? Let me get that straight. You see this this talk about autonomous and autonomy, and a union is a union. And if the people in orange, if the man who leading them had a history in planning and managing anything, you would have understood the difference between autonomy and decentralization. And for the knowledge of the members, the Tobago branch of the PSA, it is a branch of the PSA. So there is no such thing as autonomy coming in there. What we had proposed since in 2013, 17, and 2020. Let me read it here. Then Team Sam, this is Tobago, for the team in orange. I warned you already in 2017. I had to warn all you about interfering and going into my documents and things. I don't warn all you. But I need for you all to listen. Listen to the plan. And this is in our now 2025 to 2029. In 2013, 2017, and in 2020, then Team Sentinel, under the leadership of our presidential candidate, Mr. Nixon Callender, proposed a dynamic solution for effective representation on our Tobago PSA members. For this PSA executive elections, PSA United Sentinels have placed an accelerated effort to enhance the PSA representation in Tobago by having our second vice president candidate a sister of the soil. Yes, we have a candidate from Tobago that she's Natruda Campbell. She's our second vice president. As a consequence of our proposed decentralization efforts, PSA United Sentinels recognizes that our Tobago arm is a jewel of the Union, and without any doubt, our Tobago membership is one of our most enduring resources. Within the first year in office, PSA United Sentinels will propose to the conference a structure for the Tobago arm of the Union, which will enhance the current overall structure and would work cohesively with the decentralization exercise. You know what is a decentralization exercise? It is not autonomy. All Fours team, it is not autonomy. By voting for Nixon Callender and PSA United Sentinels, PSA Tobago members will be voting for a Tobago branch representative along with the following. Third Vice President, Tobago. Second Deputy General Secretary, Tobago. Deputy Treasurer, Tobago. Industrial Relations Officers, Tobago. WASA Tobago will not be left out by the PSA WASA members voting for Nixon Callender and PSA United Sentinels will also be voting for the following full-time representatives. Second Vice Chairman, Tobago, WASA Tobago. Second Assistant Secretary, WASA Tobago. These new proposed structures will truly afford the PSA members of Tobago consistent representation while allowing Tobago branch office to manage the affairs of the Tobago arm in keeping with the bylaws of the Union and the Trade Union Act. Within the first 9 months, PSA United Sentinels will engage the THA towards regularizing all contract posts within the Assembly. PSA United Sentinel will use the appropriate industrial relations case law straight up to the Special Tribunal of the Industrial Court and the Equal Opportunities Commission, the EOC, to have contract posts in the THA made permanent once and for all. Comrades, nowhere in this plan, which was since in 2013, speaks about autonomy. We are a union. So you have the little man in orange always making these mainstream political statements all over and confusing the membership. This is about everything here in the restructuring of the Tobago arm of the PSA is keeping within the bylaws of the PSA, which recognizes one PSA. Let us understand this, people. So Tobago, you are in for, well, you have always been in for a better style of management of industrial relations. Since 2013, we have been awaiting you all to come out and vote for a team that bringing out a management solution to a management problem. 29, last but not least, trade union unity. The PSA engagement with other trade unions holds some weight. Excuse me. Sorry about that. The PSA engagement with other trade unions holds some weight. Our survey respondents in November of 2024 polled 72.67% indicated that unity among the trade union fraternity was very important, with 19.4% suggesting that it is important. PSA United Sentinels, as a PSA executive, will lead the way in rebuilding trade union unity through dialogue and consultative approaches with our fraternal organization, NATOP and FITOP. PSA United Sentinels believe that as fraternal institutions for the welfare of workers, we must insist on employing mechanisms to foster growth and development of our strategies in this modernized era to combat the scourge of political decadence and mismanagement of our country's wealth. PSA United Sentinels, as a PSA executive, will fully support our trade union brothers and sisters in the continued struggle to secure income, job security, and best standards of living for the working class of Trinidad and Tobago. PSA United Sentinels, as the next PSA executive, will give 100 support to our trade union fraternity in the continued battle for working class, justice, and equality of treatment of all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. I want to just take 3 minutes on this matter. And yes, on March the 10th, 2025, vote Nixon Callender, vote PSA United Sentinels. And again, people, let's see my phone number right there. So all the little mouters and them who running about all over the place and talking about them and want you to add the numbers. That same number I had since 2013. Well, since I was in the PSA executive. Yeah? So, what is this 100% support? That 100% support comes with some conditions. That it must be concerning income and job security and the best living standards for our members and the working class, justice and equality. Those are the conditions. Once we have those commonalities of interest, we would give 100% support. But comrades, one of the things that the politicians always want is for us to be separated. And while I have grave concerns and grave condemnation of the positions taken by our comrades in the trade union movement about their political affiliation, those are matters that will be dealt with or could be dealt with within that fraternal body. But we will not separate ourselves from our comrades in the other movement just because of their political affiliation. There are several other matters that we will have commonality of interest on, but the PSA under our watch will not separate ourselves from our fraternal brothers and sisters. We may fuss, but we will not separate ourselves. We would agree to disagree, but PSA will not separate ourselves. Once it involves the struggle for the working class, income and job security, and the standard and best standard of living for our members. Comrades, I implore you all to go to our app. Mr. Controller, I hope if you have the picture with the QR code on it. I don't know if you could send that up. Let me One momentos. Just post it up. Yeah, Fearless. I sent it there to you. You can post it up. It's the scan me. It is going up there. So you all get all your phones ready. Get all your phones ready. Turn on the scan. And get ready to scan. So you see, I have it on my phone right now. Members would pass. I would say, boop, and scan. And people, this is just a test in showing you all where we are going with the PSA and where we have always been planning to go with the PSA. It's about having the PSA in your pocket, in your hand. You must never know. You see, after March the 10th, comrades, you see, after March the 10th, the PSA would be a very, very different place. Now, that is positive and negative, because should you leave Felicia Thomas with this set of dark black clothes that has been wearing there right through, should you leave Felicia Thomas and that bunch of dumps in there, those political entities in there, you could bet the PSA that's it. Should you go on the next side and vote for a team who is being led by a man where his bargaining unit is the PSA never was the bargaining unit for him in the first place. There was no collective bargaining. Where since the 19th of September last year, the recognition board would have placed the post of enrolled nursing assistant, which, all right, all your scan. Why is all you listening to me scan? Keep it up there, Fearless. They would have placed the position of enrolled nursing assistant under an appropriate union. What does that mean? And they would have issued a certificate for that. The recognition board would have, based on the application by the Trinidad and Tobago National Nursing Association, based on the fact that the majority of enrolled nursing assistants had given that union the right to represent them by making sure that they are 50 plus 1, the majority. The recognition board would have placed those persons, enrolled nursing assistant and other persons, in this case enrolled nursing assistant, bargaining unit number 6, under the Trinidad and Tobago National Nursing Association. And all of them knew that. Let us just say, for argument's sake, the people and them on his team who he snatch and grab and pick up, let me say they didn't know. Guess who made them know? The National Nursing Association and PSA United Sentinels. We made them know. We made them aware of it. And nothing people could take away that fact that Oral Saunders, his post, his category of staff belongs now in another union. Nothing cannot take away that fact, people. So trying to use Nixon Calendar's smoke screen, posting up all kind of stupid pictures all over the place. Trying to use me as smoke screen and putting up some three-page plan. Nothing will take away that fact, people. So if it is you're leading with dishonesty, when you get inside to rule, is nothing. And you know what is damning about this whole thing? That their entrance into this election, led by this guy who belongs to who his bargaining unit is in another union, their sole purpose in this election will be just to split votes. And God forbid that happen, comrades, because even the president of that union sound the warning enough. He said he sound the warning, and it was echoed by PSA United Sentinels. God forbid that happens. You know what Oral simply doing? You know what he will simply do? Us. Bye-bye. Because come, let me say March, April, around this, so the recognition board grants the RMU, which is exclusive right now. Which giving them the right now to collectively bargain. Because right now with that certificate, no other union could represent enrolled nursing assistant. The PSA cannot even represent Oral Saunders or any enrolled nursing assistant, anybody that falls under those bargaining units. God forbid that you all allow and all they get fooled into splitting the votes. He will just say bye-bye, and by the time March, April, bye-bye. It was good splitting votes. And guess what? Their union, his union, whether he likes it or not, whether he denies it or not, that union will be his recognized majority union, and it will be collectively bargaining for him. And he will not be able to be a PSA member, because our bylaws are clear on that. He will not be a member in good standing. It's not I who's saying that. It's not only our bylaws saying that. It's what the Industrial Relations Act says also. Or you go to our Facebook page and go to our TikTok page. It have all the things there. So comrades, again, post up that scan me. Go log on, scan, download the voters list, check all your names, download all the information of our candidates. And all our candidates are there. Download people. But on March the 10th, 2025, go out there in all your numbers, people. Right now, there is a situation in San Fernando where the polling station used to be in the San Fernando Corporation. They now have the Leroy Baptiste Election Committee. The Leroy Baptiste Felicia Thomas Election Committee. You know where they have placed now? You know where persons in the corporation, in the judiciary, in NIB, all that area there, you know where they are the one vote now? Over in the San Fernando General Hospital. But they have placed polling stations in almost all the Water and Sewage Authority polling stations. And they're going wrong all over with the fear factor. If Wassa for Wassa, but Leroy, Felicia, all they're committing atrocities against all their own members there. All they're committing atrocities. Or they have people still on 17 years, 18 years, who still temporary, who still on contract. And Felicia, they had the gall, you had the gall to come out and put out a video out there, girl. Actually telling people that you're looking for 10% somewhere else. Or they're talking about dignity and integrity when it is up to now the PSA General Council cannot meet face to face. All them members and them, all them newbies and them who on this team sacrosanct ball, they are real belly boy. We on 2013 salaries in 2025 people, and all they going and join, all they going and join Leroy Baptiste and Felicia. When, God forbid, Felicia Thomas remain in day, Is the same Leroy Baptiste they're going to be paying thousands of dollars as consultant, you know, because nobody know he in the private sector. Nobody. Nobody want Leroy Baptiste in the private sector. So guess where he go be circling and using puppeteer and peddling politics, further separating the union. People are going to drop out. So this is why I'm trying to tell you all, I'm going back to 2013, there's always had to go back to the past. Public officers, WASA workers, it's not nothing like WASA for WASA now because they suffer under Leroy and them. They ain't doing nothing for you. I'm telling you all this straight up. So when a man tell me WASA for WASA, and when I ask him, how long, I say, comrade, how long you work in WASA? 11 years. I say, temporary or permanent? He paused a little bit. And then he tell me on contract. All they hear this choppiness? So it's not nothing WASA for WASA. What the collective agreement say, comrades, if WASA is not following it, the PSA under a competent leadership takes the matter to the Ministry of Labor, down to the Industrial Court, get a judgment, regularize the people. But you see, they like to even Leroy and Felicia and them, because Felicia come in, it is, and I want to ask her this question. Did you come in WASA as a daily paid worker, Felicia Thomas, and then you went on to be a temporary worker, Felicia Thomas? What is your status now in the Water and Sewage Authority? And you ain't come in WASA as long as some of the members I talk to, and them still temporary, and them still on contract. What is your status, Felicia Thomas? You get fixed up yet? Answer people that. Don't be coming and using up data on Facebook and talking a pack of dotishness. But all are we suffering? You, Leroy, and the whole bag all here. And all are the belly, boy. All are the belly to be telling WASA for WASA. What kind of garbage is that, boy? Leroy, boy, rock so, boy. Felicia, you're gone from here. WASA for WASA. That is what you running. That is what you're running about, telling people. And men suffering, women suffering under all here. The same Leroy Baptiste, who the PSA had as a representative on the HR committee in WASA. And WASA have more contract and temporary workers than permanent workers. So Leroy, what you was doing there? During your tenure with your partner and with Felicia there, how many temporary and contract workers all you would have made, you would have been instrumental in making permanent? I ain't gonna say much. I could say one individual. That is what they had to find out. Who is that one individual who they make sure came in and got permanent? So don't be fooling your members and saying WASA for WASA. You're on shit, Leroy. Felicia, you're on crap. Rock so with that. Because the WASA people that I talking to, who I've been talking to for years, they're still on contract. They're still temporary. But I know one person who in too long come in there, that person permanent. It is not often that the Cali come out in calendar. But you see, after that dotishness, I get in all the voice messages and the nonsense all they peddling in Wassa, trying to scare and frighten and saying they ain't go they ain't nobody on the team. I engaged a comrade from Wassa and I spoke to him. And if it's one thing I had to compliment the comrade for, when I lay out what is the duties and responsibilities of the positions, he say, comrade, yo, me and him was in talks. I say, nah, boy. I said, I plenty work, boy. He said, I know, I don't. When it is, you go by a lawyer to fight a case for you because Leroy and them ain't taking up the case. That lawyer is a Wassa man. That woman is a Wassa woman. So Leroy, Felicia, Avinash, Kellon, and Wednesday I will deal with Kellon. The nonsense all they peddling with NIB people. All they carrying them down a road. When these people could have had something, a proper dispute laid in the court. Or they're peddling politics with NIB workers to keep all inside. Well, I'm telling all you that all your reign is over. Wassa people fed up all here. NIB people fed up all here. Avinash, ADB people don't want to see you. You all have not done anything. You all have not finalized our negotiations. All you have not gotten rid of that Unimed plan. All you have failed. Leroy, Felicia, Avinash, Kellon, and the crew, you all have failed. Do not take down that video. Take it down. Take it down from Facebook of that garbage you're talking, Felicia. So whoever wrote that for you that have you in a chair like if you catch a stroke, tell them fire them. So no Wassa for Wassa, no NIB for NIB. Because the workers suffered on all you. Go on from here and rock so boy, Leroy and Felicia boy. They fed up all here. Now all you're telling people who to vote for. All they fast. That ain't none of your business. If you want to be a senator in mainstream politics, go there. Don't use the union money and dabbling up in mainstream politics. Felicia, if you want to be in politics, well, guess what? After the 10th, you could go in politics. Because you're going to be out of the PSA. Because it's not no Wassa for Wassa again. It's not no NIB for NIB. The members of the PSA want all you out. And they want a team run by a competent leader, competent, intelligent, empathetic, and want to win for workers. A whole 13 team. No Wassa for Wassa. Like shit. Because they're committing atrocities in Wassa. So you believe because of his friends with the Wassa management and all they tell them, don't let Nixon Callender and them hold no meeting. But guess what? Wassa members hearing me. They talking to me. And Wassa will show you just what the daily paid workers do with Lambert who try to get into people politics. Don't make daily paid workers make all you look like fools, members of the PSA, Wassa, ADB. Daily rated workers had enough of Lambert and the politics, and guess what they do? They voted them out. Wassa for Wassa. That is what they're coming with. Well, after the 10 people, they will have a shock. Comrades, I will always say, a people are governed by the leadership they deserve. They are governed by a leadership they deserve. Fearless.
I don't know why that is always happening, but they are governed by a leadership that they really deserve in truth. And that's why I want people to hear this particular thing before we go. I just want them to just hear how Felicia Thomas used to conduct meetings at PSA. Take a listen.
When we meet once more to conduct the business of the association, and I would like to thank the executive as well for participating in this meeting. Thank you, everyone. It is now 12:36. If there aren't any other matters to be raised, we would like to close the meeting at this point and thank everyone for coming.
Excuse Felicia, I had some technical difficulties, so I was in and out of the meeting several times. But I missed one or two things. Was the judgment presented at the beginning?
Yes, we did present the consent order to the General Council at the start of the meeting. Any other matters to be addressed?
Time off, for instance.
Sure, Mr. Nankudi, you can communicate with the Secretariat and we will ensure to forward your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, if there aren't any other matters, I will proceed to close the meeting. Thank everyone. Sorry, somebody said something?
Yes, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, morning. My name is Comrade Jennifer Frederick from Cooks, Bakers and Food Service Workers. Under Standing Orders 1054, I'm entitled to 10 minutes speaking time, and as such, I would like to be allowed. The chair usually has the habit of muting me and throwing me out once I start asking the question. I want to first say that I object to you being there, ma'am, as the chairperson, because you yourself are a part of the defendants with Mr. Joe in the court. So the same way he recused himself, you should have done the honorable thing also and recuse yourself, because you have introduced yourself into our matter by saying,
Member.
Ma'am, 10 minutes I'm entitled to, and I'm entitled to
But
speak.
member.
I'm entitled to speak 105.4. Chair, I am asking that.
Do you have a matter specifically that you would like to raise at this point in time? You can state the matter that you would like to discuss and then proceed. So you can proceed to state what you are speaking on and you can proceed. Thank you.
I would like to continue, please, under Standing Order 1054. I'm asking, under what rule is the journalist meeting called? Is it under Rule 24 or is it was an order of the court? I'm asking the General Counsel. The principle of natural justice has not been served yet.
Comrade, I have stated clearly that you ought to state what you are speaking on. You are not to ramble on with 20, 40 questions before the general.
I am speaking on, ma'am.
You have the opportunity to ask a question, and that question can be answered. And
this morning, ma'am.
I'm not asking.
I'm being muted. I am speaking on the matter that is before discipline, and my name was called. I am speaking based on that, and I need to be allowed to speak on it based on Standing Order 1054. I am asking General Counsel, under what rule is this meeting being called? Is it June 24, or is it the order of the court? I am also saying the principles of natural justice has not been served here because there are members whose names and pictures were put up. They are not here to defend themselves. That is against the principles of natural justice. I'm also asking General Counsel, what decision did you all, what letters did you all get to come to this meeting so that you all know exactly what it's about? Again, I'm asking because I'm allowed under 10 minutes to have my say, and questions are not considered speaking time. Some of us are General Counsel members and might add a higher body than the executive who is trying to nuzzle us. What is to stop him from doing the same to anyone there right now who disagree with him on a matter? I'm also asking. We send letters to the attention of the General Counsel. Was the General Counsel these letters ever disclosed to the General Counsel? Should the General Counsel be so disrespected and let down a part of self-destruction by the executive and working through? Rule 30 speaks to the appointment of subcommittees. Has any subcommittees been appointed? Not even conference has been held in 12 years. In the absence of any appointed committee, the President and First Vice President puts into affidavits that we, the claimant, should have taken our grievance with this interdiction or expulsion to the grievance committee. What grievance committee? Over and over, we have seen the attempts to deceive the court. And I continue. In the law, the president's hands are not considered clean. Therefore, he cannot bring a matter to the General Counsel against any matter. There will be no conscious violence here today. Again, I ask, the fact is, when we win our matter against Washington, and the cost of this will it be incurred by the members of our union, thousands and thousands of dollars. All this money could have been used to treat them with serious grievances. We are still working at 2013 salary, but we have been taken on board for standing up against our union. I'm asking the General Counsel. Today, you all will have drawn yourselves into a matter that is before the court. You all have stood, because this matter, we got an interim lifting of our injunction based on what the court has agreed that what Solomon does not have the authority to suspend any member. That is to be done to the executive and the workers of PSA. I'm asking you all again, under which matter you all came here. Is it an order of the court? Did the court order you all to come here, or is it an order of the section rule 24? And I doubt whether it's not 24. I'm telling you, it's the rule of the court like this. General Counsel, Special General Counsel is called. And by that, you all would have pulled yourself into a court matter. So I'm telling you all today, General Counsel, it is very, very uncanny and very disconcerting that you cannot get a quorum of 15 people to come and sit to do the business of PSA in terms of the approvals or no approvals, the money spending. But we get over 30-something people here to come and sit in a kangaroo court where members who are called and just put up and charges laid against them. They're not even here to defend themselves in our union or our natural justice. This is a kangaroo court, and as such, again, General Counsel, do not roll upon yourself into a court matter, because the chairperson who sits there, she is affidavit in the case, but yet she changed it. I do not see, General Counsel, that when we go before any committee, any tribunal, that will be dealt with fairly. I know that we will be dealt with unfairly based on what was happened here today. I wanted to record. I want all that I would have said on record here today. We do not feel we're going to get a fair trial in this kangaroo court that you all brought together today, because the chairperson of the she also is an affidavit in the case of what's true. She said he recused himself because he's a defender, but she too is a defender and she said and share this. I'm saying at the end of it again, General Counsel, what section going to yesterday? Was it the order of the court? I rest my case. Comrade, you all be safe, have a blessed one, and do all is necessary in the interest of your family and welfare to keep yourself healthy.
Now, what you just heard there, Mr. Nixon Callender, is kind of troubling. And one, if somebody is involved in a matter, in fact, they are witness to a matter, and here it is, the same Mr. Thomas was presiding over a matter, but was presiding over the meeting, that she also is involved in a matter. That the same matter that she's presiding over. So I do understand the logic, but she's offering herself up for election, and there's going to be more of this voice notes, well, more of the voice videos that will be coming out, because people from within the General Council on the executive are sending this information to be put into the public domain on the type of treatment that they have been experiencing at PSA in the executive level. And that is why now I know that your comrade who was once there may have thought that I was badgering him as a witness. But this is what was happening. And you have the president, well, the want-to-be president candidate, who is now, though campaign, though say nothing, is basically shutting off mics if you ask questions, telling people, no, ask a question. And when you ask the question, no, that's not a question. So which one is it? And this is what has been going on in PSA. Not just the other day, but up to this present day. And you are going to hear more of this. More of this. But I want to hear what's your take before we wrap up, Nixon, because this is very, very disturbing that members' mics are chip and chip. If it's sounding good to you, they turn it on. If it's sounding good, they take it off. What is your say on this?
They simply don't care. The PSA has been a dolly house for these individuals. Whoever don't like it, take it to the court. They right now are desperately want somebody to take this election even to court, because it will keep them longer in there and it will carry the PSA further closer to national elections, right? They simply don't care. They have no honor, they have no principle, they have no loyalty to the institutions. So we are not dealing with individuals that, remember, they are committing atrocities against their own in Wasatu. They are committing atrocities against their own in Wasatu. They don't know they don't know anything about the civil service. The CPO does probably be coming to work with popcorn anytime he had a meet with the PSA executive. So this is what I have been saying all these years. It hurts me. It really hurts me. Because we don't have a grievance committee in the PSA where members could lodge their grievance of any problems they're having against. All these things really not supposed to be outside, comrade. Because as a standing committee of our constitution, our bylaws, it's supposed to have a grievance committee. So all these things are really supposed to be outside. But the thing is, they're spending money as they want. They're buying Range Rovers. They must change about 3 Mercedes-Benz, 2 BMW. It's madness. And all along, all this madness that's going on, guess what? The General Council still outside using online thing, you know. But I don't know if anybody heard, and I'm wrapping up now. I don't know if anybody heard. There was a name that Felicia called who was present in that meeting.
Yes.
Nanku.
Yes.
So, yeah, here's the thing. You have a group of people going up to want to be the next executive. While in the General Council, they can't even get the executive to have face-to-face meetings. You understand that?
Yeah.
You hear the question that fella asks about in that meeting? When I get my time off. Who is that? You
telling me?
You have a matter being discussed in the General Council, because the gist of it is that there was dealing with a court matter and a tribunal and whatnot. And you hear, are there any other thing? Wait, time off, my time off slip. Wait now, on that is what? That is time off on an online?
That's what I'm telling you. That is what I'm telling you. That is, if it's something good, they keep on. If it's way too good, they get it at me click.
No, but here one Nanku, you listen now. It have a serious matter before the General Council. Nanku asking about the time off slip.
And he asking for time off slip.
That man,
when you have a matter that even the chairman who chaired the meeting is involved in the matter. Because she's a witness in the matter.
And listen, members of the PSA, let me switch on my recording. Members of the PSA, I am Nixon Callender, presidential candidate for PSA United Sentinels in the upcoming PSA elections on Monday, the 10th of March, 2025. Go out and vote and get these people out of the PSA now. That is my recording.
No. Never done moment, and you would hear more. And let me tell you, they can't say, because they hear Jennifer Frederick's voice, because she's the most vocal one, and she's the one that basically switch off the mic and switch it back on. Yeah. So they can't say we get it from Jennifer Fredericks. If somebody sitting high up in the executive tape it and say, hey, listen to what it will be doing Jennifer Fredericks when she call, when she on the program, when she come in on the online meetings that they continuously have, because they don't want to do face-to-face meetings with the General Council. Switch them back. Switch them back. So that Felicia Union may switch it. But nevertheless, let me play the ad. Let me play the promotional, and we'll be right back.
You ready?
Public officers, PSA members, tune in tonight Monday at 8:15 p.m. where we'll go through our digital statement of strategic intent. Yes, we are launching our e-statement of strategic intent, outlining our plans for the PSA over the next 4 years. PSA members, stay focused. Vote PSA United Sentinels.
Yes. So it's Carnival week. It's Carnival week, and let me tell you, the Bacchanal is going to get more and more intense, even with the PSA. So while some people may be jumping up for the Carnival, there's a lot of Bacchanal taking place right there in the PSA. And you're going to hear who is going to be the man to lead the PSA next. So I just saw, and before we go, some breaking news. I just saw a presidential candidate put out a little small video. Apparently, he seems to be one to doing same time with you. But nevertheless, again, I will make a clarion call. If you know that you cannot go enter the race for the election, please step aside and allow good sense to prevail. Because I'm realizing no more and more, this is not about the people. It is about one man deciding that I want to show others that I am the boss and I can take this thing and I don't care to hoot about the rest of the membership. But I don't know what to tell him again. But we will see one another again on Wednesday at 8:15, and we will have another recording for you.
Yes.
We'll have another recording. And trust me, I think she might entice herself even further. But see you all on Wednesday, and have a productive night in this anniversary.
Thank you again.
Let me get my team song. Banji, you didn't make it, but you still get to perform.
Some says are small, nothing you do can stop me. So go with your heavy vibe, move them things from around me. More than turn off the taught me well how to pray and to break the spell. I well got it, my spirit grounded, ground and lights all over my head. Make way, make way, make way, make way. I got work to do, plenty work to do.